Today, I'm going to tell you the story of a disease that showed humanity its true reality and changed the world forever. Before 2020, most of us believed that modern science had control over almost everything. We thought the biggest dangers were wars, economic crises, or natural disasters. Very few people imagined that something so small, so invisible, could bring the entire planet to its knees. Did you ever imagine that an invisible virus could bring the world to a complete halt? That airports would shut down? That markets would fall silent? That cities full of life would suddenly look empty? And that billions of people would be confined to their homes at the same time? This was not a movie. This was not a science fiction story. This was reality. And that reality was called COVID-19. At the end of 2019, a small piece of news appeared. A new virus had been discovered. At first, many people didn't take it seriously. Some said, it's just another flu. Others said, it will never reach us. But viruses don't need passports. They don't respect borders. They don't care about wealth, power, or nationality. Before anyone truly realized what was happening, the virus spread from one city to another, from one country to another, and within months, the entire world was in its grip. People began to fall sick. High fever, dry cough, difficulty breathing, extreme weakness. Hospitals started filling up. ICU beds became scarce. Ventilators became symbols of survival. Doctors and nurses worked day and night. Many stayed away from their own families to protect them. Some doctors slept in hospitals for weeks. Some nurses cried silently after long shifts. And tragically, some of them lost their lives while saving others. They were not celebrities. They were not politicians. They were ordinary people doing extraordinary work. They were the real heroes. Soon, lockdowns were imposed. Schools closed. Mosques closed. Churches closed. Businesses shut down. People were restricted to their homes. For the first time in modern history, the world slowed down together. Busy streets became empty. Famous cities fell silent. Nature reclaimed the noise. It felt as if time itself had paused. But the hardest moments were not just the lockdowns. The hardest moments came when people were separated from their loved ones. Parents were separated from children. Children were separated from grandparents. Hospital patients were isolated, fighting alone. Many people could not even see their loved ones one last time. Funerals were quiet. There were no crowds, no hugs, no final embraces. Something as human as holding someone's hand had suddenly become dangerous. It attacked the mind. It attacked the heart. Depression increased. Anxiety spread. Loneliness became common. Millions lost their jobs. Small businesses collapsed. Entire economies weakened. Even the strongest companies were forced to shut down. People began to realize something important. Money could not buy safety. Power could not stop the virus. Technology alone was not enough. But even in darkness, hope finds a way. Scientists around the world worked tirelessly, day and night, across borders, across languages. In record time, vaccines were developed. Something that normally takes years was done in months. When vaccines arrived, hope returned. People rolled up their sleeves. They trusted science. They chose protection. Slowly. Very slowly. The number of cases began to fall. Hospitals became quieter. Cities began to breathe again. Life started to move forward. First lesson: health is the greatest wealth. Without health, nothing else truly matters. Second lesson: cleanliness and precaution save lives. Simple actions, washing hands, wearing masks, staying home, can protect millions. Third lesson: a human being alone is weak, but together, humanity is powerful. No country could fight this alone. No person could survive it alone. We learned the value of family. We learned how precious time truly is. We learned that tomorrow is never guaranteed. We learned to appreciate small things. A walk outside, a handshake, a smile without fear. Most importantly, we learned that helping one another is the true meaning of humanity. Today, conditions are better, but the danger has not completely disappeared. Viruses evolve, they change, they return. That's why caution is still necessary. Washing hands, resting when sick, protecting the elderly and the weak. This is not fear. This is responsibility. We lived through a time that history will always remember. We saw fear, we saw tears, we saw loss, but we also saw courage. We saw sacrifice, we saw unity. Humanity may be fragile, but humanity does not give up. And in the end, I want to say this. If a tiny virus can stop the entire world, then human courage can stand the world back on its feet. We fell, but we rose again. And that is our true strength. Thank you.